Hey, y'all know who it is, man. Hey, let's get up in here, man. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, man, to the Muslims worldwide, all my brothers and sisters, man. We have completed day 4 in this blessed month of Ramadan, man. I had a wonderful fast today, nice and easy. Hope my brothers and sisters had one all over the world, wherever you are. 4 days going already, man. We sliding through the first week, man. I'm gonna give y'all a second to get in here, man. Yo, y'all been checking me out, man. I appreciate that. I really do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some fun this month, man. Like I said, you're gonna leave this month knowing a lot more about Islam than you did coming into this month, man, for everybody that's viewing and the questions. And y'all remember last night I was telling you a story about, the thobe I had on, the white and gold thobe, my Wakanda, Black Panther thobe I had on, and how I got it from Papa Wade and his wife, and how, his daughter and son died, and how, Papa Wade, his faith is so strong that me crying when I met him, he told me it was going to be all right, man. Let me tell you something. I tell you, we have to, during the month of Ramadan, read a certain part of the Quran. We got to read a part every day. It equals 30 parts, and you'll finish the Holy Quran in the month of Ramadan. If you read your part, and I read some verses today that I had to come back and, I had to share with you, man, because I want to show you how Muslims' faith is so grounded, man. It's, we need it so much, man. When you sit here and you read the book of Allah and you read these verses, man, these verses have such significance because they tell a lot of things in the Quran. I mean, we have chapters named after prophets. We have chapters named after Noah. We have a chapter named after Jesus' mother, Mary. Everybody's completely blown away when, what, y'all got a whole chapter? What are y'all doing with a chapter on Mary? Because as Muslims been telling you, and if you don't know any Muslims, we believe in all the prophets from Adam all the way to Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon all of them. All of them. Prophet Muhammad was the seal. He was the Katanabiyin. He was the seal of prophethood, so no prophet came after him. But Adam was the first, Prophet Muhammad was the last. So, we believe in all the prophets. So, we have chapters after Abraham, the father of religion. Like I said, we got chapter Maryam after Jesus' mother, Mary. She's one of the 4 perfect women in Islam. Her rank in Islam is, she gave birth without means of how every other woman gives birth. Natural means to, Isa alayhi salam. Isa is the Arabic name for Jesus, Yeah, we believe in all the prophets, man. So, yeah, we have chapters on them. Just the verses, the significance of the verses, they help us maintain, and like I said, sharing that story last night about Papa Wade losing his children and how strong his faith was, gave me some. When I was reading today, man, I'm going to share something with you, man. And this is how beautiful Islam is. This how this is the word of God right here. When you read certain things and it hit you like, wow, so this is what Papa Wade and his wife, are going through. Wa alaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ramadan Mubarak, Jasir. That's what I'm talking about. New Jerusalem, stand up, man. That's my Puerto Rican brother right there tapping in with me, man. Love you out. You already know that for the sake of Allah. But yeah, I'm going to sit here. I'm talking low, Sean. I must be snoring. I got my volume up. I'm trying to be calm and collected. But yeah, I was reading this verse and I'm going to share it with you, man. We got protocols when we get to reading the Quran, so give me a second, man. And alhamdulillahi nahmaduhu nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiatina man yahdihillahu faman yudlillah wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. All right, so I was in chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called Imran. Imran is Mary's family. They tell you the story of Yahya. John is Yahya in Arabic. We believe in John the Baptist. Him and Jesus was cousins. So that's why I tell you, man, y'all going to get your information here. But I'm going to read this verse to you, and it's going to explain Papa Wade, the story I shared with you last night. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. And that's translated in English for those who don't know the Arabic. Never take those killed in the way of Allah as dead. Rather, they are alive with their Lord, well provided. I'm going to repeat that to you. Never take those killed in the way of Allah as dead. Rather, they are alive with their Lord, well provided. فَارِهِينَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ وَيَسْتَبْشِرُونَ بِالَّذِينَ لَمْ يَحْقُوا بِهِمْ مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ أَلَّا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Happy with what Allah has given them of His grace, and they feel pleased with the good news about those left behind them who could not join them, that there shall be no fear for them, nor shall they grieve. All right? I'm going to repeat them two verses. Never take those killed in the way of Allah as dead. Rather, they are alive with their Lord, well provided. Happy with what Allah has given them of His grace. And they feel pleased with the good news about those left behind who could not join them, that there shall be no fear for them, nor shall they grieve. So when Papa Wade hugged me and said, who better for my children to be with than Allah? That verse right there, Allah tells you, man, don't think people that are killed as dead. They're not, And, tomorrow I'm going to get more into explaining to you the 4 lives that all humans go through. I put a reel of, my little son, Khalif asked me a question, do we go to heaven when we die? And I'll explain that tomorrow because I don't want to veer off. I just wanted to piggyback on what we talked about yesterday about that beautiful brother Papa Wade having a faith of, his faith is so strong. I aspire to have faith like that, but then when you read a verse like that, Allah tells you, He tells you that people that are killed are not dead. They are with Allah and they're happy. That's if you live the righteous life, man. If you don't live a righteous life, you know what I'm saying, then you ain't with God. You know what I'm saying? You waiting to get punished. But that's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when I read that verse, I was like, wow, man. Every time I read the Quran, and I read the Quran at least 100 times. I read the Quran so much, man, I forgot certain parts of it, man. I was in prison 20 years. That's 20 Ramadans, man. I was the imam. I learned Arabic as you just heard. But when I read these verses, it touches my heart to let me know that Papa Wade's faith is so strong that you have to trust in Allah through the good and the bad. You have to trust in Him, man. If you think that you're going to go through life and don't nothing happen to you, I don't know what type of life that is. I really don't. If you do, I'm not saying people got to go through something, but the people that don't have to endure, mashallah. But I've been to over 50 funerals. Since I've been out of prison, I've been over 10 funerals. Yes, my father has been dead for 30 years. Over 30 years. So I can't wait to see old head again, man, and hug him and tell him I love him, man. And I hope I represented him to the best down here, man, while he checked out, man. But listen, man, this month is so beautiful, man. I implore any non-Muslim, man, get you a copy of the Quran and start reading it. All the Qurans, they have translations, so they don't have the English in there. If you can't read the Arabic, that's cool. Just know that the Arabic is the Quran, not the English. The English is the translation. The Spanish is the translation. If you're Latino, you know what I'm saying? What language you speak, that's the translation. That's why you got to learn Arabic so you can piece these verses together and you get the total understanding of what Allah is saying. But that right there hit me when I said, wow, we are not dead when, once you leave this physical world. Don't think that. You might be dead here. You might cease to exist here. But like I said, tomorrow we're going to chop it up and I'm going to explain to you the 4 lives that every human has. There's 4 lives that we have, man. And I ain't going to make this long and give it all to you tonight. We got 26 more days to rock out. I'm just grateful and thankful, man, that when I read the Quran, man, it reaches my heart. It reaches my heart. And when I pray and I bow and I prostrate to Allah, he know that, yeah, the boy is sincere. I'm sincere, you know what I'm saying? Hey, wa alaikum salam, Yogi, what's up, brother? Yeah, man, you know, and that's the thing, man. That's why you have to read the Quran and you have to study it, and then you have to implement it. You have to implement it. Hey, I'm going to tell you, hey, Yogi, you ain't never lying, man. Islam has given me everything. You know, I got the opportunity, you know, being incarcerated to really study Islam. You know, I was Muslim before I went to prison, but I didn't know nothing about it. But now, 20 years, I got to study it. So you think about it. You got to go 4 years of college, right? To get a bachelor's. Then you got to do, 4 years to get your doctorate, I'm pretty sure. Another 4 for a master's. So we talking about 4 times 3. That's 12 years. I did 20 years studying Islam, learning Arabic, learning the hadiths, the narrations of Prophet Muhammad and his companions. So you talking to a brother that got 20 years, the equivalent of a doctorate times 2. That's the thing about being in prison. I tell people prison was the best thing that happened to me because it got me in order. It got me to develop a relationship with God. If you don't have a relationship with God, you just out here wilding. You out here wilding for real. You know, whether you implement your relationship with God, that's on your strength. But you got to have a relationship with God, man. Everything else in your life ain't going to go right. I don't care if you win the lottery. I don't care if you make $20 million, you Elon Musk, you know, whoever you are. My most important relationship is with Allah. And, you know, when we say Allah, let's get this cleared up too. Like I said, this is going to be a month of learning, man. Earning and learning. Allah is just Arabic for God. Ilah, God. Just like the Spanish word for God is Dios. So when we say Allah, we're talking about the God of Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, John, Elijah, Ishmael, Isaac, Adam, all of them. We believe in all the prophets. Because, you know, we follow Prophet Muhammad because he was sent the Quran. That's why we follow him. And it's been preserved for 1,400 years, 1,447 years. You know, so we can go to our book and we can pull out what we're talking about. And it's our guideline. It's our guidepost. You know, it tells us that we have to pray, you know, certain times of the day. It tells us that we have to fast during the month of Ramadan. It tells us to be dutiful and respectful to your parents, to your neighbor. You mean, like, Islam encompasses everything. How do you do business, man? We don't deal in interest. Interest is forbidden, man. You know, you can't charge people something that you didn't give them. Interest is what has people in a lot of debt. Interest is what have you paying an extra $600,000 on a $400,000 house that you end up paying $1 million for. Interest makes people poor. So, you know, Islam teaches us everything. It's our whole sacred way of life. You know, it's not nothing that a Muslim should not know how to do or how to act or how to deal with people, whether they Muslim or not. You have to show respect. You're not a Muslim if you don't check on your neighbor, whether they Muslim or not. You're not a Muslim if your neighbor's not safe from you. Meaning you're not trying to plot on your neighbor, trying to mess with his girl or his wife. That ain't characteristics of the Muslim. So Islam is a total way of life, man. It's the best thing that happened to me, you know, and I got to study it for 20 years in prison, man. And I love sharing this. I love sharing this because this will bear witness for me, you know what I'm saying, when I die and leave this world on the day of judgment. You know, we believe in the angels and all of this, man. Michael, Gabriel, Israfil, man. It's thousands and thousands of angels, man. It's wild when you don't understand how much Muslims believe in what we believe in, man. But we believe in the angels, man. We believe in all the prophets. We believe that there's only one God, and Allah is the Arabic for God. That's it. There ain't no different God. It ain't the God of the Middle East. It ain't the God of the Muslims. It's the same God that Jesus worshiped. It's the same God that Abraham, Moses, John the Baptist, all of them worship, man. So don't get off course when you hear Allah. That's Arabic for God. You know, when you say Allah, and this to show you how powerful that name is, this is how you know it's the correct name of God, all right? We're going to have a quick test before I get up out of here, right? We're going to get back to, we're going to reconvene tomorrow. If you put an S on God, that makes it plural, right? Gods. If you put an ES on the end of gods, you make it feminine, goddesses. You put father on the end of God, you got Godfather. But if you put an S on the end of Allah, you can't even pronounce it. How do you pronounce Allah with an S? Allah. You can't put an ES on Allah. Allah is the correct and proper name. That's why when the Muslims say Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, without a shadow of a doubt. He's the Alpha and Omega. Before him there was none. After him there will be none. You know, that's what the Muslims believe, you know. So, you know, I'm going to share that with you, man. I had to share them 2 verses to give me better understanding how Papa Wade's faith is so strong upon losing 2 children. That brother's rock solid. His wife is beautiful. She rock solid. Sister rock solid, man. You got to be rock solid, man. And your faith has to be grounded to deal with such a catastrophe of losing a child. And I know a lot of people that have lost a child, man. And you know, lost a loved one. So just know they're not dead. They're not here with us, but they're with God. They're with God, man. And they're happy. Think about it, man. You know, as we know, once you leave this world, ain't no more rent and mortgage and all that. Nah, ain't none of that. You make it to paradise, man, on the day of judgment, man, you straight. Now, conversely, if you make it to the hellfire, aye, papi, can't do nothing for you. That's why this life is a trial. The Muslims believe Allah has taught us that this life is a trial, man. Everything you do is being recorded by 2 recording angels that are with you from the moment you're born. And I'm going to get back into that tomorrow. I ain't going to go too far in there because, like I said, we got 26 days to chop it up. I got a lot to share with you, man. Like I said, I want to thank all y'all for rocking out with me, man. I want to thank all y'all for wanting to learn about Islam and hanging with your boy, man. Day 4 on the books, man. You know, we're going to be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Now I'm about to go ahead and get some vittles up in me, man. I just had a little water and broke my fast, you know. Oh, yeah, we ain't going to get into that, arm, leg, hey, that ain't, listen. They don't even know that. You know, that's so out there. People don't even think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. And in the meantime, between time, get you a copy of the Quran. Don't be scared. What you scared of? You scared of reading about the Word of God? You got a Bible. We read the Bible. I know the Bible inside and out. I can tell you Mark chapter 7, verse 7 and 8, what Jesus said. He said, in vain do they worship me. He said, in vain do they worship me, but yet they hold the commandments of men. They follow the commandments of men. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jesus said in Mark 7, chapter 7, verse 7, 8. In vain do you worship him. So, you know, we read the Bible, we read the Torah. We know these were books that were sent to prophets before Muhammad. You know, we know the Torah was sent to Moses. You know, he went up on Mount Torah and got the 10 Commandments and came down with the Torah. We know the gospel, the Injil. Arabic is Injil. The gospel was given to Isa, Jesus. We know the Zabur. That's Arabic for Psalms, was given to Dawood, David. We have all of that in our Quran, man. We're just the culmination of everything that come before us and to clear it up. So, like I said, till tomorrow we get together again, man. Hey, I love y'all for rocking out with your boy. You know, I see you soon. Man. Peace.